Hello everyone, so I am back again. My name is Anya, for the ones that have not listened before to me. I am introducing all 24 runes of the Fudak, and while I introduce the meaning and the magical aspects of the runes, I will also introduce the Fylgja, the spirit animals, the trees, and the healing herbs that go with the plants and the deities. So today I will talk about the 6th rune of the first Aetia, and this would be the rune Kenaz. Kenaz means, or is the element of fire. It means torch. So, and as you can see on the picture, it looks like a little flame, like a little light. The deities that go along with this rune is Frey and Freya. Frey is the god of fertility and Freya is the goddess of fertility. So, and later on, after I'm done, I will talk about Frey. So the tree going with it is the pine tree, and the healing herb is the cow's lip. Not the lip of a cow. Does a cow have lips? No. And the Fylgja, the spirit animal, is the serpent, the snake. So, but don't freak out right away like, oh, a snake and evilish and all this. No. But as I said, I will get to this later. So Kenaz, also called Kaunas. This rune refers to the fire. So, and it shows very much the human expression of the fire. So Kenaz is the torch. It's like an opening. It's a fire. It's a mirror. It's a realization. The sacrificial fire. It will show you your abilities to achieve something. It will fill you with enthusiasm, love, willpower, creativity, the life-sustaining warmth. It will fill you with passion, with love, and with lust. But it can also invite you not to fail. So the other aspect of this rune is for you to... It will invite you to accept the challenge, like consciously accepting, like, for example, like consciously accepting the not the physic but the psychic death. What I mean by that is letting go of the old. So I don't mean like drop dead, right? So and this we need to do sometimes in order to bring something new in our life. So and it will help you seeing the true inner light. So because other than that, you know, you might be frustrated. Like if you all ignore that, it can cause your frustration. You might take the wrong turns on your path. You might take bad advice, or you're having false hopes, you know, for things that you really don't need right now. So Kenaz is also the rune of human passion, of lust and sexual love, like, but in a positive way. I don't mean this like in a horny, everyone does it with everyone, and dogs and cats and all that, you know. Like it's the creation of a third party from a union, like of two, like from a union of two into the visible. Like for example, the birth of a child, or what else, like the union of light and dark inside of you, of female and male. It brings you the balance. So because like especially in a sexual point of view of energy, it's like the emotional root of creativity, like in all areas. And most of us know that yeah, sexual energy is one of the strongest, right? And I'm getting to that a bit later as well. But again, it has nothing to do with horniness, right? I'm talking like, you know, feeling good about yourself, having lust to feel someone. This is all positive, and I think in our society it's like these days, unfortunately, it's like, oh, we don't talk about that. Or on the other hand, we talk about that, but not in a way of passion, in a way of, yeah, hey, let's screw, right? Is it porn promoting, and if it is it anything else that has nothing to do with this passion and with this lust anymore? So that's why I find it very important. Plus, sexual energy is in the sacral chakra. So, and if the root and the sacral chakra don't work, the energies can flow. So it's a very strong energy base. So, and this why this aspect is very connected to Freya, or Frey, as I mentioned before, the goddess and god of fertility. So in this way, Kenaz can give you also like new impulses in your sexual life, right? If you couldn't feel all this passion anymore. So it makes you glow with passion, and there's nothing wrong about it. So, but again, be careful not to overwhelm your partner, who is maybe not working with Kenaz, you know. So, and as I said, Kenaz is the torch, the fire. So, to explain this, imagine like back in the olden days when they were sitting in a hall and, you know, having suppers, they have the torches on the wall for light. These days, of course, we have our lights. So, and like no one would like to sit together and have supper in a dark room, right? So this torch gives light and security. So the night is this way the dark night is illuminated, and the human being can be creative in like in his appearance, or sit sociable together to take a supper. And so yeah, it's the idea that, yeah, Kenaz is the idea that it illuminates the dark night, right? And yeah, so in any case, a creative moment in the form of the appearance of light and of that, and of transformation. This is what it symbolized. It's symbolizing. So back then for the Celts, Kenaz was like the sacred fire of the earth, and that's where they offered their ancestral sacrifices. I know it's a subject no one wants to talk about, but it did happen. Was it even, you know, humans? Was it animals? Was it food offerings? Many cultures did this. And yeah, so therefore for them it embodied like the mystery of regeneration through death or sacrifice. So it is a rune of fire, so a human controlled fire in the form of a torch. So because we decide if we light the torch or not. On a, like, for ritual purposes, Kenaz is the fire of creation, sacrifice. It's a fireplace. It's a man-controlled and purpose-serving fire. So even then, the burials that they did, like the Vikings, I believe, or others, they buried their dead. I think the natives did it too. So I know this was like done to prevent them to revert to the physical body. So what I mean by that is, so the soul could not get caught in that physical body, that the shell that they no longer needed anymore, so they could move on, so they could transform to the next level, if I make any sense. So, and as I said before, where light is, the shadow is just like, the shadow shrinks or gets illuminated. I mean, so it's, the shadow is suppressed or illuminated, let me put it this way. So as a result, you can see and recognize resources, the resources inside you and your gifts. So, and it can come to an opening inside you. So what I'm trying to say is, fire has always been or seen as a transforming and regenerating force. So light allows us to see in the dark, and this is also for the spiritual enlightenment. So this enlightenment is a spiritual light. So, and this enlightenment is just nothing but a new insight. So it's like you open your eyes for the first time. You might open them for the first time and you may see things for the first time, but they have already been there. They've always been there, but you see them for the first time because of that enlightenment. And that doesn't have to be only on a spiritual level. This could be also in regular life situations, that you start seeing things in a totally different light, if you know what I mean. So, but most might think, oh, the enlightenment, that's it. I got my enlightenment, I'm done, thanks, bye. No, it's not. It's just the beginning. So, and from there the work starts. Actually, now the work starts, and because you have to understand the new insight that you gained, right? So you need wisdom to understand the value of it. So, because knowledge means power, you gain power once you really know your stuff, and it doesn't matter what it is, and therefore you have responsibility what you do with your knowledge. And it's always important that we only support the good with our knowledge and the power that we gained. It's so very important. So especially if you do magical work with Kenaz, it's very, very important. So what Kenaz can do for you, like if you're a little choleric, like if you get pissed off about little stuff and you freak out about everything, that Rune can like balance your temperament out a bit. So that's one of the things. And so, and if you like I mentioned before, if you have issues maybe with your sacral chakra, or you know, you don't feel that passion, you can wear an amulet and it will increase, you know, your sexual success, I would say. And like if you do meditation or a shaman journey, you can use the light of Kenaz, a torch. You can use it to guide your way through that meditation as a light. Because I know sometimes meditations or journeys, like I call them journeys, they might get a little scary because you don't know what's next and what's coming. So this light can show you the way, light you the way. And it's also, Kenaz is also like a parabolic mirror. So in such a thing, something is captured and radiated again. So with everything caught on a focal point, how can I explain that? So with the help of Kenaz, you can aim and determine from which direction what kind of energies come. So even if it's just a friend's positive idea, energy, or if it's if someone really hates your guts, you can source it as well. And you can also prevent magical attacks. So but it's very important, if you send back something, that you don't amplify this negative energy that you're sending back. So if you feel that someone is breaking your protective shield of your own space, and you aimed it, like you know where it's coming from, or I mean determined where it's coming from, then send it back. But just send it back. Don't be like, oh wait, I'm gonna show you, let's see if you can take that. No, don't, never ever. Is it with rune magic? Is it with your protective shield? However you do that work, just send it back. And also I found a little in the Edda, there is a song of Odin, because he sings songs about the runes in the Edda. So if you're interested, maybe you can get an English example. So he says, if anyone injures me, and the other alone who does it to me, the magic divorce me. I remain free. So Odin sends the rune magic back to the sender with the rune Kenaz, and remains unharmed, because I'm getting into that much later, or just short for now, because people that don't do the right thing, they use runes to send negative stuff, like everybody else or other people do it the other way. So yeah, don't do that, because it will bite you in the ass, and I mentioned that before. So also you can do good of physical healing with runes, and but just to repeat myself again in this episode here, don't try to do healing work with runes if you are not experienced with runes. Try to get someone who knows the runes and who has experience in healing work, because it's very important that you understand every rune, since you need to learn how to control the energies of the runes, because you might get a little too much of it, and that might not be good for you. So that just I said again. So what Kenaz is good for, it's like for inflammations or fever, and also for genital areas, which makes sense, right, since it's for the sexual energy. And also if you have problems with your eyes, like if you have any eye disorders or diseases, they can be cured. So, and the key is harmony with your own will. That is the key to do healing work with that as well. And yeah, and it comes through love, including sexual love, and yeah, and then new realities can emerge, right? So the rune unites the power of the godfathers and the passionate commitment of the giants. So as I mentioned before, the union of two opposites. So, and that's a unique combination, and the result of this unique combination of clear thoughts and the warmth of love. So, and once you're there, you will understand life better. you know, just remember, light means to see better in the dark. And again, you will see not anything new. It's always been there, but you just simply overlooked it. So remember, you open your eyes for the first time, you know, just as I said that before. Also what Kenaz does, it will allows us to experience only pieces, like little by little, you know, of the wisdom that we just gained, or of the knowledge. It will only give us as much as we need, and only as much as we are ready for. You know, it will not throw us all of a sudden like, okay, here's your enlightenment, have a good day, deal with it. No, that wouldn't work, because we would just be overburdened with it. So what it does, and then our realization will come in the form of an inspiration, insight, you know, and or you feel that little fire burning inside of you that enables us to overcome obstacles in your life. So we just have to learn how to deal with it, because fire can either create life or it can destroy, as we know. So because then you will start, yeah, as I said, to understand life better, the new insights that are waiting for you. And again, don't be too complacent and say, oh, that's it, I'm cool, I'm done, you know, and always use it for the good of others and for your good. Other than that, I find it's worthless. You know, treat it like a pitcher of wine. Share it, pour it out, and refill it. And yeah, I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself, but yeah, don't think that this is the end, or that the enlightenment is your actual goal. Just see it as the beginning of an adventure, a learning process, and which will finally lead you to your knowledge and wisdom. And I hope I make any sense. I mean, you can have the enlightenment, you know, you might realize the situation. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I have not seen it like this before. But now you got to start processing the information. Yeah. So an enlightenment, you know, it must lead to that wisdom. So only then we can understand the true value and the power. So that was so far what I could give you about the rune. So let's move on to the Filja, the spirit animal, the serpent, the snake. So the serpent stands for transformation. You know, most might figure that out because they shed the skin. So, but they're also for intuition and for energy. And intuition, I mean, you know, they check things out before. And if it doesn't feel right, they take off. So when the serpent meets us, she points out that we should not avoid the power in us, but integrate it into our lives, to do something with it. Like Kenaz tells us, to serve our healing to other people. You know, not only to ourselves, but also to other people. And she will bring us also very close to Mother Earth, and not only because she is the closest to Earth, because she is moving around, but she also strips her skin, and she tells us to strip our skin too from time to time. You know, leave the old behind, do something new. So, and with the shedding of the skin, it just, you know, we let go of old things that we don't need, that stresses us out, that is outdated, you know, even connections to people that we don't need anymore, or situations. So if you have her as your personal power animal, if she shows up, then you have a very powerful animal on your side, because she is able to activate the Kundalini energy, you know, the original life force, the creator the power in you. So, because I found the sexual energy a very strong life force, and I don't want to sound like a horny single, I'm just talking about energies. So, and she stands, because of all of that, she stands for the principle of death and rebirth, because of shedding her skin. So, and she tells you also how to accept the death, that you can live again, and this is why she works so well with Kenaz, because she will lead you to your inner healing. She will lead you to of you becoming. So that was it that I have for you for the serpent for now. I think that is enough. And then next I have the pine tree, and this tree is very beautiful as well. I love pine trees, not only because they're so big and beautiful, it just, yeah, they do so much. Like back in the days, they smudged pine incense to keep away the witches, ha 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 ha. So compared to these days, I would say it was done to keep people away that don't mean well, you know, that are not good for us. So even back then, the Celts or the Teutons, they smudged for negative influences. So what the spirit of the plant will do, it places protection around us and our soul, and this way we are protected from any negative energies or that interrupt us or distract us or disturb us. So this incense will, or the incense, depending on if you get oils, essential oil, or resins, you know, it will strengthen us, and it gives us strength and to defend ourselves. And I mean that like inside of, even inwardly, and so we can take a look at matters with a clear thought. So this way we become a little calmer and more relaxed. So even if you suffer from depression in your life, the spirit of the plant will help you to get you back on your feet. She will purify your thoughts, and she brings you back to the truth. She will give you peace, and yeah, and inner peace is very important for a happy life, right? So, and it doesn't even have to be depression. You can feel guilty about something, even if you did something that was really shitty and you feel guilty about it, or you feel guilty for something you haven't even done. I mean, I'm awesome in that one. Like, I have to say, I should get some pine. I always feel guilty. I feel guilty 24/7 for some bullshit that I haven't even done. So yeah, and because what it does, like, and I'm the one to talk, yeah, tada. If you constantly blame yourself for something, it will lead to dissatisfaction with your own self. So, but the pine will help you with that, and it's a very warming and stimulating smoke, and I really like it. So it really brings your spirit, your soul harmony back. It's really, really nice. Also, as an incense, as an essential oil, it's really good for your blood circulation. So, or if you restless and, you know, overexcited, like I mentioned before, this is why it works so well with Kenaz. So it harmonizes the fire of life, right? So then also you can use it, you know, for physical issues like bronchitis, cough, for circulation problems. If you're nervous, like, makes sense, right, to calm down. And sometimes we can't even sleep from all the thoughts in our head, so it helps you sleep. Even for muscle soreness, you know, we all know sometimes, and especially in these days, like, and I'm a best example, I don't even know how tense I sit sometimes or stand. Like, for example, like, you don't even know how many times you shrug your shoulders up, like, so that you don't even have a neck anymore, and I can do that so well. So sometimes I just push my shoulders down, and then I realize, whoa, I actually have a neck. Isn't that interesting, right? So, woo! Yeah, so even with legs, and yeah, sometimes even my leg hurts, but that is just because I was sitting so tense. So like, but it's also for muscle soreness, like if you did sport, right? So so it's really nice if you rub your muscles with that. Yeah, you can even make a bath out of it. Yeah, you know, with the essential oils. If you either with essential oils, or you can make it out of fresh pine wood yourself. So but you have to cook it out and squeeze it out really good, and then you can mix it with your bathing salt, like Epsom salt. I love Epsom salt, so it's very good for your respiratory system, and yeah, and it helps you really good relax. But don't if you cook that out, don't drink it, please, ever. Yeah, and the essential oil from the needles, it's very antiseptic, so an antibacterial. It's really good, so I like it. Oh yeah, also if you use the oil externally, you can also use it with silver plasters, and that mixed together, that will help as a stimulant for if you have rheumatism or any sprains in your ankles. It's really good for that. So that was the pine tree, and now we have the cowslip. As you can see on the picture, it doesn't even look like a cow, right? It's a nice little Tinkerbell yellow head. So, which is interesting because they say that back then the little fairy folk, they love the cowslip. So it was for the Celts. It was a very one of the important plants for the Celts. So so yeah, among other things, they produce an intoxicating potion with the cowslips. So and they dedicated that plant to the goddess Freya. So they said only if you have a cowslip, the doors to Freya would open. So that, of course, was done at spring festivals, and we know at spring, you know, everything is blooming, everything is transforming, the light is back, you know, two people, two souls, creating new life. So yeah, very nice. I like those symbols. So yeah, because with those symbols and the legends, it just shows you that it opens a mysterious the door to mysterious rooms, or, you know, new chambers. So works great together with Kenaz, doesn't it? So yeah, the spirit of the cowslip helps to endurance, patience, and confidence, which you need sometimes to see the light, because, you know, sometimes we just got the torch but we can't find the match. So for mental blockages, like, it will help us to dissolve those blockages. So it will correspond then with the key points of our body energy. So, and it will connect them with creative impulses from the outside. So yeah, if you want to say, it's a developer of our soul space, the cowslip, the spirit of the plant. So, but of course, there are of course the aspects for the physical, you know, not to forget. And this plant is as well very good for cough, absolutely. It's a blood purifier, yeah, anti-inflammatory, so it doesn't always have to be ibuprofen, right? And it's antispasmodic, especially for cough, for whooping cough, bronchitis, and all that fun stuff. And pretty much also for all kind of lung infections, and yeah, also for migraine and rheumatism again. So everything that is related with the muscles and your respiratory system. Oh, before I forget, not to forget, it's very rich on vitamin C as well, this little plant. So yeah, and yeah, you can mix it in teas also, like if you have sleeping disorders, you know, like if you want to calm down, or if you have a weak heart, you know, it helps you a bit. But again, it's actually there to prevent strokes. So, but if you have real common heart issues already, please go see a doctor. Don't muck around with it, you know, because I'm not a doctor. I just work with healing herbs, but I don't know you, and like I said, I'm not a doctor. So for heart issues, always, if you have chest pain, go see a doctor, please. So, but they prevent strokes, like the cowslip prevents strokes, and they were also doing some tests regarding epilepsy and Parkinson, and it had very good effects, but at the end they couldn't come out with the result because they said the results are still pending. We don't know yet if it's working. So I think that's a bunch of bull, but because everything that works will always be pending and they're not sure about it, if you know what I mean. So if you can also make a tincture, like I explained many times, and you can rub it, like you can drink it or rub it on your forehead. Not on your forehead, on the side, for headaches. So and it's not only rich on vitamin C, it's also rich on magnesium. So again, good for sore muscles. So yeah, cute little, not only that it looks pretty, it does quite a lot, I find. So yeah. And then last but not least, just a short little one about Frey. And I can't tell you the whole story about Frey because it's not about the Norse mythology. I just want to mention one interesting point. So Frey, just to introduce him quick, Frey is the twin brother of the fertility goddess Freya and the son of the sea god Njörður and the ice goddess Skadi. So besides Odin and Thor, Frey is one of the main gods, even though rarely anyone heard of him, and that's why I chose to talk about him instead of Frey. So he's the god of fertility, but also the god of sunshine and elves and good vegetation and harvest, prosperity, right? All the good stuff. So, and it also means the shining one. Like his other name, Skir, means the shining one. And yeah, through all of this, he enjoyed a high reputation. So, I apologize. Like, because of all of this, he's still he's always portrayed as a very handsome god, and very often with an erected penis to symbolize fertility. So, but Frey, he has one of the most dangerous weapons. I mean, beside Mjolnir from Thor. So, and it's sorry, I talk too much. So he has the most dangerous weapon in the entire universe. So, and this is his sword. So, which when he pulled it bare, it can defeat any opponent on its own. So what this means to me personally, just for me personally, what I see out of this is that the sword kind of represents Kenaz to me, like a parabolic mirror that I talked about before. It aims, it determines, and it has it bounced off. You know? So yeah, I think I'm done. I hope you enjoyed this. Ouch, sorry, something dropped. Yeah, so I'm gonna stretch my sore muscles now from talking and sitting, and I hope I brought everything that I found important and that I researched, and also the aspects I brought in for myself. And yeah, if you have questions or if you have any opinions that you want to share with me, just write me a comment and I will gladly answer you. So, and I will be back with live streams again. I just like to talk about the runes for now as a recording, so people can listen and they can just forward if they don't want to listen to it. And in chats, I always need to talk to my friends, to my family, right? So then it's harder for me to focus and to catch up from where I was. So, but maybe I will do a live stream about the Aetir. So, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back next week, and blessed be. Bye bye.